All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakaha Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of JMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And now the elder Zion here at JMS Las Vegas camp, he sent forth this article at End Time Headlines, and it reads, Big Tech now targeting Native American land for massive data centers. Hey, and it's funny, that they say now targeting Gadite land, right? Because so-called Native Americans are you so-called Gadites, right? And you so-called Seminole Indians are you are Reubenites, man, right? Hey, but it's saying now targeting Gadite land as if this land wasn't where Gad, Reuben, and the Northern Kingdom was inhabited, man. This was already their land, right? But he doesn't care, right? He doesn't care. Showing you that, because when you take a look at the reserves, right, and the land in which Gad has been removed to, it's typically the worst land that's left, right? The ground is, or the soil, I should say, the soil, if I say soil saturation, but the soil state is typically very weak and or poor for bringing forth crop or planting to try to harvest anything, and that land has no water on it, right? Because a lot of Gadite lands, even today, man, they don't have any piping or plumbing, so water trucks whenever they'll come through and give water. I'm not sure of how frequent, but I know it's not very frequent, understanding that he is running it. So Gad is on that land going through hell, man, showing you that they're under the curses as well. But it says the rapid expansion of data centers fueled by AI demands is increasingly focusing on Gadite or Native American tribal lands, where companies seek vast spaces and expedited approvals that bypass regulatory hurdles faced everywhere. Basically saying that the lands that they're trying to take away, they don't have to go through the same government loops, right, or permits, approvals, to build there. They can just do what they want ultimately. It says this push comes as communities like nationwide grapple with the infrastructure needs of the AI boom, but on tribal territories. It revives long-standing tensions between development opportunities and a legacy of external exploitation. Tribes in Oklahoma, including the Caddo and Seminole nations, right, Reuben, illustrate the divide with leaders weighing potential economic lifelines against risk to resources and cultural heritage. That's a precept I got to grab now, right? Because Gad is still thinking about the bag. Have you not learned your lesson, right? The same land that he pushed you off in, right? And said, hey, everything else is mine. Now you're going to still believe this devil? That's not second nature, Sirach. Right? They're looking at it as an economic come up. But look at the state of you, man. How many treaties? Let's ask ChatGPT that question. How many treaties were broken? One second. How many treaties did white man break with the just so they can't get confused on who I'm talking about. So I typed in how many treaties did the white man Esau Edom break with the Gadites, man? It says there is no single agreed upon number, but historians generally agree that the U.S. government violated, ignored, or unilaterally altered a large majority, all of them, man. And the answer is all of them, right? There's no official account, but the answer is they violated all of them, right? They just counted up to 374 treaties that were broken or violated in a significant way. But it was all of them, man. And now you're saying, oh, well, now you want money for your land. Hey, he really just wants to take it from you. And you thinking that you're going to get the bag that you want, it's always going to come with a deal, man. It's always going to come with an ulterior motive, right? Have you not learned that the devil always wants his money back, man? Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rust, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. This is Sirach 12 and 11, verse 12, right? It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at thy last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Right? This devil don't do nothing, for the interest of anybody else. It's all for his gain, all for his profit. Right? 13 and 4, Sirach 13 and 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. So all he's trying to do is use you. Right? He'll come up with this, lavish contract on, well, we can make it to where you guys can get this amount of money, right? But it comes with these stipulations, because that's ultimately what it's going to do. It says this push, come back here. This push comes as communities nationwide grapple with the infrastructural needs of the AI boom, but on tribal territories. It revives long-standing tensions between development opportunities and a legacy of external exploitation. Tribes in Oklahoma, including the Caddo and Seminole Nations, illustrate the divide, with leaders weighing potential economic lifelines against risk to resources and cultural heritage. Right? So Jake is willing to sell out again if the bag is big enough. Right? And this shows you that, hey, our people are through, man. Here it is. He made it to where, hey, I believe it's documented that 99 million, Gadites were killed, man. Matter of fact, let's type it in. Today I learned the U.S. killed 100 million Native Americans. It's now estimated that between 80 to 100 million Native people may have been killed, which, hey, it's probably even more than that. But look at that. In the I can't even say that name. In the JO Museum, that's the link that pop up and shit. But they got the nerve to talk about what they went through when they didn't go through. And this number is skewed down for sure. Way more than 10 million Gadites, man. Way more. Gad and Reuben, I should say. But let's get back to it. It says, tribes in Oklahoma, including the Caddo and Seminole Nations, illustrate the divide, with leaders weighing potential economic lifelines against risk to resources and cultural heritage. The Caddo Nation, located about an hour west of Oklahoma City, has faced hardship since closing its casino in 2017. Right? You got to remember, he married into Gad and Reubenite families, right? So the ones that have the money from the casinos and hotels, so forth and so on, and they could easily just be tares, right? It says Chairman Bobby Gonzalez views data centers as a path forward, but even in this, even if they're not tares, the ones that have them, guess what? The rest of their nation is through. The rest of their nation is piss poor, man. So what good does that do? It says we're not poor. Mr. Gonzalez said, we're broke. Some tribal leaders see the project as a chance for renewal in areas long starved for investment. But this is the thing. If you give up your land, there isn't anything for you to build up. And guess what? Trying to build up in this society now, hey, it's completely worthless. You need to be getting your spirit in order, man. He is about to crash that same dollar that he about to give you, and is about to transfer it into what? A new form of buying and selling through the MOTB, which is going to be an electronic currency on the CHI to the P. It says, yet not all share this optimism. In Binger, Oklahoma, Mr. Gonzalez encountered Tracy Nukumit, a former tribal council member preparing for the Caddo's traditional turkey dance. She expressed willingness to forego modern conveniences like cell phones, but drew the line at compromising water supplies. The paramount worry for data center development in Indian country, given the massive cooling requirements of these facilities. Across the Seminole Nation, concerns have led to decisive action. In March, the tribe became one of the first to impose a moratorium on generative AI technology and hyperscale data centers. Tribal Council member Chabone Colonel, who introduced the resolution, emphasized preservation of core values as immortals. Says the Seminole Nation's unanimous 24-0 vote halted discussions, inquiries, and developments related to data centers, citing risk of water contamination and irreversible environmental harm. And EO just off, these individuals that voted and say something catastrophic happened to them, right? Or their water source poisoned them. Because we know this devil will do anything in his power in order to get that land. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So when he wants something, if there's any resistance, he'll find a way to get rid of that resistance. Says this stance reflects broader apprehensions in Indian country, where data centers demand enormous amounts of electricity and water while generating noise and other disruptions, right? So it's going to mess up the water and it's going to mess up the wildlife that's around it. So I want to grab this precept here in the book of Job, the 24th chapter, and I'll start here at the top. It says, why doesn't the Almighty bring the wicked to judgment? And we understand, hey, Yahweh Bashim Shai created the day of evil for the wicked, man, right? So, hey, he's doing it on his time, right? He's going to bring forth the judgment, and when he brings it forth. It says, why must the godly wait for him in vain? It says, and this is the NLT, by the way. It says, evil people steal land by moving the boundary markers. They steal livestock and put them in their own pastures. They take the orphan's donkey and demand the widow's ox as a security for a loan. And this is exactly how he gets down, right? They steal land by moving boundary markers. Hey, well, he set forth those bounds when he said, oh, well, he came to the Americas and basically said, oh, well, this part of the land is mine. And this contract says that it's my land. Meanwhile, Gad and Reuben were saying, hey, the land is everybody's, man. We all benefit from it, right? We don't destroy it. We make sure that we tend to it, right? Hey, but he had other plans, right? That's where the whole manifest destiny, energy came from, man. It says they take the orphan's donkey and demand the widow's ox as a security for a loan, right? So they seize houses, right? They oppress the poor, right? The scriptures say they oppress a man in his heritage, right? They take the orphan's donkey and demand the widow's ox as security for a loan. Here it is, he comes with all these backwards and sideways deals, So it sounds like, hey, the deal is on side of the victim, when really he's just seizing all assets. It says the poor are pushed off the path. The needy must hide together for safety. It says, like wild donkeys in the wilderness, the poor must spend all their time looking for food, searching even in the desert for food for their children. Right? We can continue to go down, but this part of the curses, so y'all go into it. It says they 5 says, like wild donkeys in the wilderness, the poor must spend all their time looking for food, searching even in the desert for food for their children. They harvest a field they do not own, and they glean in the vineyards of the wicked, right? So he'll make it to where he'll set up a contract and be like, yeah, hey, we'll give you guys this loan for giving us your land. Matter of fact, and you can work in the data centers when it comes, right? So meanwhile, they'll have Jake building up their kingdom, while they're owning them, right? They'll have Jake build up a kingdom, and still somehow Jake will be owing Esau. And this part of curses, man, right? How you shall harvest but reap little, right? Or I should say harvest but sow little. It says all night they lay naked in the cold without clothing or covering. They are soaked by mountain showers, and they huddle against the rocks for want of a home. The wicked snatch a widow's child from her breast, taking the baby as security for a loan. The poor must go about naked without any clothing. They harvest food for others while they themselves are starving, right? You're going to allow E to build these data centers. Meanwhile, your people are going through the most hell. And your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother would, as the saying goes, rolling in their grave, and they would be extremely disappointed, of Gad and Reuben making a deal with them, man. So let's go back here. It says the National Congress of American Indians has taken a more proactive stance, urging tribes to leverage the Trump's administration AI action plan. In a comment to the White House last fall, Executive Director Larry Wright Jr. highlighted the potential. Tribal lands, right, and that's how he thinks. Highlight the potential of what? Seizing even more land for their enterprise, man. Tribal lands, which are vast, strategically located, and home to an eager American workforce, are the ideal place to build the infrastructure that will power America's AI dominance. And only a fucking devil, man. These people are wicked. The wicked, man. The data center surge driven by tech giants racing to support AI has already roiled rural communities with issues of power strain, water usage, and secrecy in negotiations. On native lands, these pressures intensify due to historical context of land loss and limited sovereignty protections in some dealings, meaning they could basically just go in there and destroy. They could seize the land if they wanted to. All they gotta do is write the you know the correct have the correct paperwork, man. Scriptures say they seize land, man. This is what these devils do. This is their MO. Everything that Esau is about killing, destroying. Proponent, a Edomite fatigue, man. We tired of these niggas too. See, we tired of regular niggas, speaking of you jakes. But he is a problem to the earth. Proponents point to job creation and revenue in a failing economy. They always bring up this whole job creation bullshit, man. Meanwhile, they're setting up that whole job creation to ultimately get rid of you and have a robot do the job. It says while critics fear repeating patterns of resource extraction, there it is, that prioritize outsized interests over tribal well-being. For sure, he don't give a damn about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native Americans, man. It's Isaiah 5:8. It says, what sorrow for you who buy up house after house and field after field, until everyone is evicted and you live alone in the land. This is the NLT, by the way. What sorrow for you who buy up house after house and field after field, until everyone is evicted and you live alone in the land. And this is exactly what he's doing. Seizing house after house, field after field, to build forth these data centers, which are killing people, man, making people sick, destroying the earth, the resources of the earth, the animals of the earth, until everyone is evicted and you live alone in the land. And they say, what? You will own nothing and be happy. This is how this devil gets down, man. This is Ecclesiastes 5:8. NLT. Don't be surprised if you see a poor person being oppressed by the powerful, and if justice is being miscarried throughout the land. For every official is under orders from higher up, and matters of bureaucracy, it's like in matters of justice, get lost in red tape and bureaucracy. Even the king milks the land for his own profit. Those who love money will never have enough, right? And the scriptures tell you that this devil is covetous, man. He can never be satisfied, man. Those who love money will never have enough. How meaningless to think that wealth brings true happiness. So this devil will literally destroy himself and try to build his new world order. He's a straight kamikaze, man. He don't care what is harmed. He disregards life. And I mean life on every level, from the cellular level, the microscopic level, onto the biggest creature, right? The creation, the earth itself. To the point where this nigga saying earth is not enough. We got to go to space. So, the Lord ain't going to allow this devil to do all of this, man. Right? The grid is already struggling. And here it is. He's trying to open up more data centers, which is just going to put an even bigger strain on the grid, right? Which is going to make it go haywire. But ultimately, this is all in the hands of Yahweh Bashim Shai. We know, as the scripture says in the book of Job, and he will not allow him to fully set forth that enterprise, man. The Most High set forth bounds in which he cannot pass. And ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to take Esau, eat him out. So, that's what it is, man. All our job to do is to prophesy, to preach, to tell you the things that to come, and most importantly, to keep the faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai, that we may withstand the evil day, having done all to stand. Hey, so get your spirit in order, man. Hey, the Lord is about to do a great work on behalf of his men, and the women that believe, children included. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying into the body. I give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakha Kodash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of Jesus' great millstone, and a sincere shalom to you. I can bring out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.